My magical stories make everyone happy. Lucifer, anything happen for you?
No.
Well, technically, if you look outside your window and under your seat, you'll find the keys to a brand new car, and your car's in the driveway! Go and check it out! But really, there's some jello in the freezer.
It's a trap.
Actually, I'm lying. There's some jello in your freezer if you like.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there is.
We don't have any jello.
But there's always room for jello.
Do you have any brownies?
Nope.
Cake?
The cake is a lie.
I have some chocolate.
Chocolate.
If you look in your kitchen, you will find some chocolate. Thanks to
It's not in my kitchen, it's in my mini fridge.
So if you look in your mini fridge.
Notice how I actually tell him exactly where it is for him to get it right.
And suddenly he got it. Wow, you're amazing, Poptart.
I know, I can make like thyme.
I want London broil. My favorite kind of meat.
What is that?
It's a type of steak.
London broil. Now you got me in the mood for steak.
I'm having lots of hamburgers, so I don't care.
Alright, it is match time, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh boy. And I continue.
And also that means there's now time for story time with Poptart.
Yay! Part 2.
We're gonna have to come up with like an intro and everything for story time now.
I would love to tell stories.
Poptart can just make it up as we go.
That's what I always do.
No,
make up all of the stories.
We need someone to draw like background and animations for just the people like with their mouth moving, like little cartoons, like the Yogs Cast little cartoon things.
That's not hard.
This would make perfect podcast material. Just saying. Can I start telling my story again?
Whenever you're ready, Poptart.
You left off at a few months after that weird Thanksgiving turducken video that didn't happen. On today's episode, we will continue from where we were. Okay. So, are you ready for this?
Define ready.
Ready. It's only, I don't know. I'm just gonna get into it. Okay. Okay, so a year or two passed, and we're all just having a fun time, fun time, and all of a sudden, I'm like blanking out all of a sudden for some reason.
You used up all your magical sugar powers on the last episode.
Okay, oh, I think I got something. Okay, so Team Jam was dying, okay?
Dying?
So, here goes the other story that most people don't know about us. You guys might not remember it because I kind of wiped your memory again.
Oh.
Anything.
That dead gum neuralizer.
Before this happened, one day, we were in a Skype call, okay?
No.
We're all talking, having a fun time, you know? And all of a sudden I hear, you guys, there was some yelling in the background. I'm like, what is that?
Uh-oh.
Turn around and it's my dad. And so,
turn around, it's my dad!
And they're like, he wears dresses, don't you know that, guys? And I'm like, don't. That's on camera, too.
What do you mean we wouldn't remember that? I do remember that. I guess I looked away from the neuralizer.
We remind you on a daily basis about the said event.
Apparently now I wear dresses, and that has haunted me forever, ever since that day.
Ever since that fateful day.
And now to the story. So Team Gem is dying. So all of a sudden one day, okay.
Brain fart.
We're on a Skype call, and we're all like, okay, guys. I'm like, okay, guys, this is it. We need to do something about our channel. So we all like got into our awesome Ferrari cars that I all bought.
That you all bought us.
You bought us? Since when? I haven't got mine yet.
When are these showing up?
I told you guys that you wouldn't remember this.
the cars then?
I'll tell you later in the story.
They became Transformers and went over to Michael Bay's house and killed him. They're trying to ruin the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, there, I'm getting a little sip here. So
then the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie was canceled and Raven was happy.
Yes! Life was good again. My childhood was not destroyed.
Okay, so we all got into our awesome Ferraris. I was in the Ferrari, and then Lucifer was in the red and black one, and Raven was in the purple and pink one because he loves.
Yes! Yes!
And Luminari was in the beige one.
But you said before, Luminari's never here.
Yeah, but he was finally there for once. Because I had to trick him that there was free milkshakes. Down
Poptart's milkshakes brings Luminari to the yard.
Yes, yes they do. I'm not gonna deny that at all. Okay, so we're like...
His milkshakes brings all the Luminaries.
And we meet up in Maine. Okay, Maine?
Maine?
Maine.
That makes
Why
sense.
do we keep meeting in random places?
Because
by the time this story is over, we're gonna be at every state at least once.
Yeah. Oh, geez. 50. Yes, 50. Okay, so we're like in Maine. Okay. We're like.
Okay, can I actually pause your story? Because I got a funny story real quick. Because I know you're just gonna take the rest of the episode.
I keep getting interrupted.
The other day, Joyce and I, we were playing Draw Something for the OS.
I play.
So, and I drew a picture. Like, okay, I outlined Africa, and in it I wrote continent, because I assumed that my wife understood basically what the continents were, which was, and that was a bad idea, because she first types in Cuba, didn't fit, and then, oh no, crap.
She typed in crap.
She typed in, and I texted her on my phone later. I was like, why did you put Cuba? Like, isn't Cuba a continent? I'm like, no, it's a country, baby. It's surrounded by... No! She said the continents are Hawaii, Cuba, Australia. I'm like, Joyce, those are... Joyce, what? Those are islands.
She's not going to be happy if she hears this.
Oh, I already told her I was going to mess with it. I was going to do it on Facebook, but I decided to make it funny and put it on YouTube. So, that's my wife doesn't know what a continent is.
Amazing.
She
got Australia.
That was by luck, because it was surrounded by water. She still doesn't believe me that Antarctica is a continent.
What'd you think it was?
She doesn't know.
Country.
She just doesn't understand. Like, I love her to death, but sometimes I fear for her future.
Antarctica is an island, idiot.
No.
Okay. Okay, so we all meet up in Maine, where I left off my story. And we all meet up at this random parking lot by the ocean. And
by the
we
ocean.
Like, get all our cars with another cinematic shot with us doing like slow. No, cool with our sunglasses. So I all bought you that I forgot to click up because you guys don't remember. And
I'm glad you're reminding us all. It's starting to come back to me now.
Oh really? I'll have to wipe your memories and have to do this. So we all get out and we're like, okay, what should we do? And I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden I hit a button after I say okay, and this giant boat comes by.
Where did you get all this money? That's what I want to know.
What happened to it?
You don't remember? We got flashed. Remember? He flashed our memories, so the money never existed.
Comes by.
Ah!
And I'm like, okay, guys, we gotta do this. So we get in our cars and we drive the car onto the boat, okay? And then, because our cars can turn into like boats ourselves, so we kind of.
Oh, they're Transformers now. Great. I smell Michael Bay. He's around here somewhere.
No, he isn't. He wasn't even alive. He was stuck in a cave somewhere.
How is he not alive if you're younger than him?
I killed him.
And how is he not alive but in a cave somewhere?
I killed him, and that's how I got all the money.
That would make a little bit of sense, maybe. Oh God!
But that's another story. How I revived Michael with an evil demon. So, so we're all in this boat, okay? And we're like chilling and relaxing, and then we have this like vacation montage when we have like we're playing like volleyball and this like
In Speedos.
no, I don't want to see you guys in speedos.
Every beach scene has the guys in Speedos. I don't know why you'd be so shocked.
We were all wearing shorts and Hawaiian flower shirts, and we're all just having a fun time in this vacation montage, and like the Beach Boys were playing in the background. It's great. And then all of a sudden the captain's like, all of a sudden the boat stopped.
Wait, we're playing volleyball on a boat?
We're on a boat and
Yeah, it's like one of those cruise ships, but it's a yacht boat. So it's like a smaller cruise ship. so we're having a fun time, and then all of a sudden some jerk comes over. Because the boat stopped. All of a sudden, because the other boat passed, and it wasn't no regular boat. It was a pirate ship. Okay, and it shot a cannonball right through the captain's window and killed him, leaving like a big dent in his face. You don't want to remember that part.
oh no, I'm glad you wiped.
Wordy.
No, not Wordy doesn't come in for a while in the story. I'll explain why. So here we are, and we're in the middle of the ocean, and here's this pirate ship, and here we all playing with volleyballs, and they have these giant cannonballs and swords and crap, and we're like, holy crap, what should we do? So we all run, and I'm like, guys, stop. I'm like, they were
Collaborate
like,
and listen. Ice is back with a brand new edition.
No.
I probably did that there. I probably did that there.
No, you didn't.
I'm gonna have to listen to the rest of this later because I gotta go.
Aww.
I'll still continue the story though.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Alright, peace.
Okay, so here we are, and we're like, I was like, guys, stop. And they were like, what? And I was like, I clicked the button instead of saying something, and turned all your clothes into a suit and awesome sunglasses fell from the sky and landed right on your face. It was amazing. And we all were like, and I clicked another button, and these like guns come out of the side of the plane, not the plane, but the boat. And then we're like, I'm like, RayVin, get the wheel. And he's like, aye, Captain. And he like turns, you turn it. You start turning the boat, and you start doing like spinning circles. I'm like, RayVin, stop doing that. He's like, I'm having so much fun. I'm like, oh my god! So I knocked you out because you were getting way too hyper.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah, I know. And then, so I'm like, okay, Luminari, go take the wheel because he is a responsible, wise man.
Where did he come from? I don't remember you telling us he was there.
Said he had a beige Ferrari. And then I'm like, okay. So we all go in there, and I'm like, we're driving up to instead of blowing it up right away, we thought we would have some fun. So we start like going towards this pirate ship, and we like all like slowly like in another cinematic shot here with more with explosions coming out of the ocean, of course, because you also need those in the cinematic, I forgot to say. And we're like jumping over in slow-mo onto the pirate ship, and we pull up these guns, okay? We're like, give us all your money, and they're like, they're like, ARG, and I'm like, what the heck does ARG mean? And they were like, ARG. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So we like run around, okay? We're running, and we're running really, really, really fast, okay? And I'm like, it's RayVin.
What?
And I was like, oh wait, I knocked him out. I'm like, god dang it, we left him on the boat, and here's the boat floating away.
You left me to die?
Okay, here's the boat floating away because Luminari was stupid enough to come with us onto the pirate ship, and here's the boat kind of floating away, and we're like, no. So all of a sudden I had the gun in one hand, I'm like, all these guys on me trying to kill me with the swords and stuff. And I'm like, oh god. So I'm like, Lucifer. And he's like, what? And I'm like, do you know how to use Skype yet? I was like, He's like,
of course you tell that joke after he leaves, you coward.
I know. I'm like, he's like, no. So I was like, you can't be our communication guy. Luminar, you're not our communication guy. So he like calls to RayVin's cell phone, which gives off this weird vibration, in his shirt pocket, which like kind of like shakes him awake slowly. And he like wakes up and he's like, holy crap, what's going on? He gets a text and he's like, we're almost dead. Get help. You're floating away to your death. And he's like, what does that mean? He walks out and looks out the window. He's like, where the heck am I? Where is everyone? And he sees this pirate shop, a ship, and he's like, all these big explosions. So he grabs onto the wheel. He's like, I don't know how to drive this thing. So he's like spinning around, like I said. Like here we are battling. We're running out of ammo and stuff. And then we get down to the captain's place in the ship, and we go in there and we bust in, and there's like 50 guys in there. Okay, so many in there in one tiny room. It was crazy.
I still don't understand why I got left on the boat.
Because I knocked you out.
Why? Why?
Because you were too hyper. Because you were spinning the boat around. Remember?
Yeah.
True story, bro. Okay, so
I don't know about the whole true story part.
I don't know. So we're like using my extreme ninja dead cat reflexes.
Dead cat reflexes.
Yes. I'm like, okay, ching 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 chong ching chong ching chong 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 chong, and then like in the background while I'm killing all these things in slow-mo, Friday starts playing it.
Oh God.
I'm like,
wait, how did Friday start playing if it hadn't come out at this time?
I made it come out, and then every.
So you control time and destiny. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes, I went into the future and got that song.
You went to 88 miles per hour again, didn't you? Dadgummit, Poptart.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that. So I'm like chopping at it, and I'm like, switch the track, homeboy. And then all of a sudden, like, some guy that we brought in the corner who carries this, who has like one large eye and one small eye, he's kind of like hunchback and stuff, switches the record and plays Eye of the Tiger, and I was like, yes! And we like,
Por like me gusta.
like, on my lightsaber all of a sudden, because I guess that's kind of the noise I just made. Then I'm like chopping my way through, and I'm like ching 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 wah wah wah, and I killed them all. And I see the captain. I shoved the lightsaber in his face, and I go tingle 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 with the lightsaber. And I'm like, oh wait, this is the lightsaber, so I burned off his face. And then I stole all his cash, and then here we are, still trapped on the boat. So I'm like, so I go upstairs and I see Luminari and Lucifer, and here they are just standing there doing nothing. I was like, what were you guys doing all this whole time? And they're like, oh, we were playing Goldfish. And I was like, what? I'm like, what about the Raven? And they were like, oh yeah, we and we were like, oh, and I was like, god dang it, guys. So we like
Y'all left me to die again.
So I was like, it's Raven's here, and we can see you spinning away in the wrong direction. So we had to like grab onto the pirate ship wheel, and well, Luminari did, and he starts steering this thing, and I'm like, oh my god, we need to go faster. So I was like, Lucifer, get on the side, and I got on the other side, and I was like, and I pressed another button, and I'm like, to activate our rocket boots, okay?
Rocket boots.
Yeah,
I want you to send me my rocket boots, man.
You didn't have any.
Of course not, because I was knocked out.
Yeah, and so here we are, like, grabbing onto the side of the boat, going at 87.9 miles per hour.
God.
And we're like, all of a sudden, we hear this weird noise. I was like, oh no, our flux capacitors are getting knocked out. We better hurry up and get to them. So here we go, and we're gaining speed, and then on accident we get 88, and we go right into the future. Okay. And here we go, and we're creating this going into the future, and this caused
a space-time continuum.
This continues. We went into like 15 years into the future, and by the way, you were still on this boat. You were still.
Of course it was. I'm on a boat, baby. I'm on a boat and
you were, and then, okay, so you don't come back in the story for a little bit until.
great.
Yeah.
I probably died somewhere. No big deal.
Yeah, you were on the boat. You had food. Don't worry. Okay, so we're like, okay, so I'm like, okay, guys, we just went into the future. He was like, and Luminari and Lucifer were like, duh. And I was like, oh, yeah, that was kind of a stupid thing to say at this moment. So we're like, where are we? And we're like 15 years in the future. So we were back, and
Back to the future, baby.
and all of a sudden we see this weird thing. And you see giant, I mean giant Rebecca's black statues as high as the eye can see, and they were everywhere. And all the streets were torn apart, except this one building, and that was like all perfect and stuff. That said Rebecca Black's residence. Okay, and I was like, we started asking people, what's going on? And
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? That's what you should have asked.
I can't talk to you. And they were all whispering like, we can't talk to you. We'll get in trouble by the master. And we were like, who's the master? And they were like, I can't say her name, otherwise she'll hear me. I'm like, God dang it. So we go over to this house and we like bust through the gate, and everyone's name for apparently was changed to Rebecca, so she would never get confused who was who, and she would know everyone's name. So, and I didn't steal that from the episode of Phineas and Ferb, by the way. Okay.
Well, I'm sure you didn't.
No, I didn't, because that was Nauta this time. Well, actually, it was the future. Ah, dang it. I'm getting all my times mixed up. I don't even know what year I'm in. Okay.
For real, I'm on a boat somewhere. Luminari's got y'all driving somewhere. Somebody's taking over the world. Dude, don't you think it'd be information that I would like to remember?
No, I couldn't. You'll understand why. So all of a sudden, we're like, God dang! So we burst into this nice house, and we see this more Rebecca Black statues, and all the people in that building had Rebecca Black masks on. And
oh God.
We're like, what the heck is going on? So we burst into the main office, and there she is, right there. And she's like, all like, she's like 50 million pounds wide, and then her hair was like, and she had an afro and some cool sunglasses, by the way. I have to admit that. And then she was like, singing her next record called "I'm Gonna Ruin the World." And
oh, nice.
Yeah, so we ended up like, you're going down, Rebecca Black, don't ruin our future. And Luminari's like, wait a minute, what if we change the space-time continuum? And we're like, we won't, this'll be great. So we like, do some cool spins in the air and do some like hardcore parkour on the sides of the walls and stuff. And we jump onto her belly, and knock the thing, we knock on her stomach, and it goes all, like really deep in, and it pops back out, and we like crash into the ceiling. And she starts laughing. So we went behind her, and we just pushed her over, and she couldn't get back up again. So we won.
And I'm still on a boat somewhere.
And then she like disintegrated into like her teen form. And then after that, she disintegrated more into pure dust. And then we're like, we won. But then all of a sudden, things start changing back to a peaceful way. So we went back into the future. But on accident, Lucifer, changed it 2 years in the past. And we ended up in the state of Louisiana again.
Of course you did.
And we saw the old RayVin. We're like, oh God, we can't let him see us because it'll change everything. And here we are, he's with this girl, and he like proposes, and we're like, what the heck is going on? And I'm like, wait a minute, isn't that Joyce? And I'm like, oh my God, it is. And then we like saw it, and it was great, and then we went to the wedding, and we had like so much fun, and then we got milkshakes afterwards. It was great. And then we went back into the future. That was a great time. That was the greatest part of the story right there. It was very touching. By the way, RayVin.
Apparently.
So we went back to where we were originally, and we're like, okay, where's the Raven? And then the camera pans over to Raven's angle, and here's the Raven laying on this chair with like lemonade and like
And blackberries.
and blackberries. And he's like just chilling, getting a nice tan. And he's like, and we call him, and he's like, he picks up the phone. He's like, hello, and we were like, where the heck are you? And he's like, oh, wait, I'm just chilling out on a boat. Where are you on the boat? I don't know, somewhere by Greenland, I'm guessing. We're like, crap. So we can't use the rocket thing again. So Boom and I came up with a smart plan to pretty much make the boat fly using my magical powder again, called sugar, I think is the name. And we all had some sugar, and we all we jumped into the ocean, we went under the boat, and we lifted it. I don't know why we didn't just fly, but we brought the boat with us for some reason, just in case we would have needed it. And here we are, we're lifting it towards Raven. We found you, and here you are. And we all had another volleyball party. And so I grabbed the captain, the dead captain, with a dent in his face. I took him and I laid him on the ground, and we put a little circle around him and this sugar, and put some candles on the ground.
This sugar.
And we put like a blanket over it, and I said these magical words, but I can't tell you what they are because they're too powerful. And
of course.
They revived the captain, and it was great. So he was back again. And we told it, he was all freaked out. He couldn't remember anything. He was like being born again, but he still had a fully developed brain. So we told him to just drive the boat. He was bad at first, but he got good to it again. So here we are. We finally made it to our destination, which, if you can guess, was
Louisiana?
No.
No. Iowa.
No, it was
Nevada?
It was Antarctica.
Of course.
It was it. And we're like, oh, look at this beautiful city. Antarctica's a great city. Did you know that?
It's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so we get there, and we're like, it's freezing cold, so we're like, stupid us, we went in the wrong direction. So then we went over to the continent of Cuba, and we're
Oh
like,
yeah, continent of Cuba, awesome.
oh yeah, I love the
Joyce, are you listening? Poptart believes this too.
So we get there. We're like, god dang, we went in the wrong direction again. So then we went to the other continent, Hawaii. It was great. We had a truck party there, but then we had to go because we were off schedule. So then we left again, and then we finally got to Europe, where we met up with the Yogscast.
Oh, nice.
We're like, Yogscast, help us. And they're like, you little bugger, get out of here. We're like, what?
You little bugger.
We're like, and I was like, look, I have a dolphin. He's like, oh, a dolphin! And then all this stuff, and then we gave him a diamond sword and stuff, and a cookie and some Java cakes and stuff, and they agreed to come with us, and we got them. And then we went over to California, got a few more people, and then we went to Louisiana again, and stuff. And then we set up a base in your house, okay? It's Raven. Secret underground base that we all dug. And we were making a plan to defeat a new guy, because technically Poptart wasn't fully destroyed in the past, so he...
Of course he wasn't!
that part.
Oh my god, of course he didn't die!
This
That would mess up, that would be the biggest plot twist ever if he would have died, of course!
I know, it would have been horrible.
It'd been awful, then Michael Bay wouldn't have made sense! I get it
enough
now!
people to make more money. I mean,
That's right, that's right!
No.
He still had some more of the stuff that we all loved and enjoyed to kill.
The Michael Bay is still dead at this time, though. So.
No, he's not. Michael Bay's a Transformer, he'll always be alive.
No, I killed him, and that's, remember where I got all the money, but how I revived him is a different story. Like
You revived him? It's your fault he's still alive then.
Yeah, but then someone else killed him, and then you.
But he's still alive!
And then you revived him. So it was like, I killed him.
Why
I
in
revived
God's
him,
name?
And then you killed him, and then someone, then Lucifer revived him, and then Luminari killed him, and then Luminari revived him, and then Lucifer killed him, and I revived him, and then you killed him, and I revived him, and then Luminari killed him, and then you revived him, and I'm like, what is going on? The cycle is endless. So we just forgot about that. And we just brought him to our secret base anyways. After spending 5 years, because 5 years, halfway between those 5 years, we had brought him back and stuff. So after 5 years, Michael Bay was with us for like 2.5 years in our secret base. And we kept him in a little cage. We gave him food once in a while. It was great. And we told him not to touch any cameras, and we had to get like a hypnotist.
Yeah, no cameras, no computers, no special effects. You don't get to come near a computer till you learn your lesson.
Okay, so we did that, and then hold on. So we did that, and then we finally got all ready, and we figured out that Fat Poptart's base was over in northern Canada. Okay. So here we are already, and we crafted up a diamond sword, some diamond armor, some cookies, some
cakes. We had to have 8 cakes.
Cakes.
Okay, wait, I have a question. At this point in time, when all this is going down, where in God's name am I?
You were with us. Remember, we found you on the boat.
Oh, that's right. You found me on the boat. I'm not on the boat anymore. Awesome.
With your
good.
blackberries and lemonade.
That's true. Okay, I'm good now. I remember.
Okay, so we got all of that, and then I did the command of slash spawn mob, Jimmy. 50,000, and we had a Jimmy army. Okay, so here we are, we're getting all ready, and then we're all prepared, and we all look really, really, really cool. Okay, so we're walking over.
We're walking on sunshine.
Yeah. That's it. Actually, the sun was playing while we were walking because it was a very long time. And then we found our Ferraris again.
Why did we lose them in the first place?
That's a long story. It happened between 5 years. What happened between those 5 years is that.
I'm sorry, but I don't care how many years. So there was no way I was losing a Ferrari, dude. There's a loophole somewhere in your story.
Actually, we found them. Somewhere because secretly one of the Fat Pop-Tart's agents disguised as Lewis from the Alt-Cast and stole all the Ferraris somehow. And
that's where they went.
Them together
to make a Super Ferrari.
No, to make that one thing from Power Rangers where they all combined their things.
the Dinozord?
I don't know what it's called. So
or Megazord or whatever it's called.
And he ran away. So he must have got stopped or something because we found him in the middle of the desert, and we got all in it, and then we started driving. Okay, and you guys are gonna be sad when you lose him and later in the story, like I said. So we're driving. We finally get to Canada, and we're outside Fat Poptart's base, and then we all rip off the diamond armor. That was just for minor protection, and we all put on
minor protection, of course.
We all
then we put on gold armor.
No. We put on our snazzy moon boots, our leather pants, our Power Rangers shirt, and nothing else but our nice Zelda hat. Okay? So we all do that. And, well, I have the Zelda hat as my selection. Lucifer chose a headband. You also chose a Naruto headband. And then Luminari was just Luminari. I don't know. He didn't want... He was just too awesome to wear a hat, apparently, that day. So we just let him. But we like burst into this with the 50,000 jimmies, okay? And we get in there, we're like, Fat Pop-Tart, you're going down. He's like, he had an army of like spiders, zombies, skeletons, blazes, gas, and evil wolves that want to kill you.
Okay. I love you,
Yeah.
Poptart. I can't take more of that story today. We just won another game, even with all that men that's going on. Thank you for story time.
Yeah, I had to finish it. Otherwise,
Maybe one day.
I had to finish it now or I'm going to forget it.
So